watching me, you're watching the off night. Always the off night. It's a great night this week. We have the Oscars to talk about, and the guy who's going to take you on the road trip all the way through this entire hour will be, of course, Mark Sweetman, your host, NMC, the greatest guy on the planet to do this.
Hey! Thank you, Andy. This is our new theme music. Not really new. I like the song. It's like 45 years old, and I just think it's got a nice long intro on it. So I decided to use that. Also, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't own the copyright to it. So, all right.
For a moment there, I thought it was 9 to 5. I didn't know what he was like.
About that era. It's
about that era.
It's Rubber Band Man by the Spinners.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I was thinking about that song was somebody sent me a 45-year-old picture of me playing basketball, and that was our warm-up song when I played for my high school team, the Rubber Band Man.
Nice.
So anyway, how has your week been?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, you're the only.
Oh yeah, it's been good. I have some good news. I got the good news. Okay. I went on a massive search on Kroger's and Myers and of course the infamous Washtenaw County, and I'm in all these things, but it's trying to apparently Kroger's was new into the list, so I tried to get onto Kroger's. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I had to finally. I found my phone a couple of times, 2 days in a row, trying to get from one level to the next level. I got in, so I finally called a friend of mine, Mark, and he's the computer guy. And I said, Mark, I've been trying to do this the whole time. I'm trying to get this thing for 3 days. I'm gonna try. Oh, there you go. It's like he got it in. Apparently, I can't get one in. Apparently, they are taking people in Ohio, so I'll be going down to Maumee, Ohio, at a Kroger's to get my shot on Thursday.
What are you talking about, Maumee, Ohio? They don't have any place closer than Maumee for you?
I tried. I'm going to continue to keep going. I'm going to try and do Myers and stuff. I keep going on the list of Myers. I should be able to get in somewhere, but it's like I'm going to wait. If I do get something from the county or Myers or Rite Aid is a pain in the butt. I've tried Rite Aid. They are just booked, and they keep forcing you to go through and put your stuff in. They won't just hold on to it. And they say, well, come in tomorrow. We'll see if you got something for you. And it's like they won't let you go through a list of places. You have to kind of sign on to one. And it's just sort of like.
You're the youngster on our show tonight, so let's get the other ones out here, and we'll talk about that during the show. And you also want to talk about the Oscars. This is always a fun conversation for me because I never see the movies that have been nominated. So,
yeah, I always see like one, and I always pick for that one. But go ahead, bring the other guys out.
You can only pick for that one. All right. Yeah. Coming back again for about a 7th or 8th straight week. Our Florida correspondent. How about a welcome for Kathy Ryan, everyone? Did I push the button? She goes, hey. All right, here's where you give us the make us feel bad because it was cold today.
Aw. 85 sunny.
Oh wow.
We haven't seen a cloud in several days, so it's nice. Yeah.
I hate that. I mean, this is the type of year where I have to go back and rewatch The Crown to cheer myself up because the weather in The Crown is so bad.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, we still have DeSantis to put up with, so it's not all perfect, but yeah, no, the weather has been very nice.
When's the last time Florida had a Democratic governor? Was it Crisp? Governor Crisp? I think it was.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Sam will know. Let's get Sam in here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Mr. Know-It-All. And I say that lovingly because the man is a font of information. Welcome back, Sam Greenfield, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sam.
I don't think Charlie Crisp was a Democrat when he was governor.
Ah, okay.
He became a Democrat when everybody found out he was gay.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was a Republican.
I didn't know that.
He's in that log cabin society there.
You know that next to Jews for Hitler, that is the dumbest organization. You know, they don't want you. They don't want you. Okay. They have evangelicals praying for your death. Stop, please.
Well, now wait a minute now.
Hold it here.
Republicans want to be the big tent party.
Yeah, but the tent is never in fuchsia. That's my point.
Yeah, there are no rainbows in that tent.
No, there's no.
The tent's made out of retired. The tent's made out of
I'm sorry,
retired.
go ahead.
I said the tent's made out of retired Confederate flags.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that's always amazed me: the stupidity of the Republican Party. African Americans and Latinos are, as a rule, socially conservative.
Yes.
People of voting age and older. Okay.
Yep.
They were made for the Republican Party, but the Republican Party can't stand the idea of people of color being in their party. At that CPAC convention, which I watched, they had one panel group that was all African Americans. And if you listened to them, they were smart. They had great ideas. And I'm surprised they didn't have more than 1/3. Huh?
And they'll never get anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
No. The guy who played Lisa Bonet's, I'll make a better example. The hell with him. Lynn Swan. Lynn Swan is a Republican. Lynn Swan tried to run for office in Pennsylvania, maybe the gubernatorial spot. I'm not sure. Good looking guy, Hall of Fame football player, great screen TV presence, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
He can't get within farting distance of a seat anywhere. The guy who played Lisa Bonet's husband on the Cosby Show, at the very end of the show, the Navy guy,
Yeah.
he's a Republican. Can't get a whisper of a prayer. They can't. It's not in their DNA to accept them. It just isn't.
Well,
it's amazing.
Kind of weird. The guy that was running against Peter in Michigan did a real good run, but
James.
he came incredibly close.
Yeah,
He did come close.
Came really close.
Yeah, but that was his second try too.
He ran against Debbie Stabenow too.
Stabenow. Yeah.
You know what interesting? You know what I find amazing about that is, and I don't know why this is, but a lot of times when someone runs against an incumbent and they lose by a hair, which he did,
Yeah.
they stop. One would think that they would say, well, I got this close. But what I found out happens is they spend so much money to get that close.
Yeah.
Right.
That the people who contribute, and I'm not talking about mom and pop mailing in $10, the people who contribute money to them go, no.
Yeah.
It was a nice try. God bless. No. Oh, by the way, I don't remember. One of you will remember this guy's name. I can't remember it, but Trump's money guy. He's a Esselberg. I can't remember.
Oh, the guy that is accountant. Yeah.
Putin.
Yeah.
Putin, that's it. Ricky Putin.
Yeah.
Anyway, his
Alan Wessel.
Alan Wesselberg.
Yeah, it's Alan.
For the purposes of this conversation,
we'll call
let's
him
call
Alan.
him Al. Anyway, so his ex-daughter-in-law, okay, who worked for him, said today she is testifying before the Senate subcommittee and the Justice Department investigating Trump's finances, and she's going to tell them everything she knows and everything they want to know.
Elle has no fury.
No, you know what she said? She said, I don't and we've talked about this. I don't understand why people kowtow to Trump. You know, you'll wind up going to jail. I'm not going to jail for him. He
Yeah.
doesn't care about anybody, and I'm going to do what I can to bring him to justice. And I thought, man, it's almost like Al Capone. It was
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah.
It wasn't the 6,000 people he had killed. No,
Yeah.
it was
Members,
taxes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Alan
And
Weisselberg.
Weisselberg. And Weisselberg. Anyway, and this is what's going to bring Trump down. I got to tell you something. If I'm Trump and if she knows as much as I think she does, right now, if I'm Trump, I'm serious. I'm packing my bags.
And if I were her, I'd become a food tester.
Do you know who was
my address.
Saddam Hussein's food taster? His chef's son.
Oh, jeez. There's a guarantee.
How's that for pressure?
Yeah.
Ahmed, how did you do in math?
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
Why?
I was going to say.
Why?
You have a choice. You can be grounded or you can try the rice pilaf tonight.
Exactly. Yeah. Dad, this tastes like glass.
Try the pilaf.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I wrong, or are we all frozen?
Oh,
No,
I just wasn't moving.
No, I can move.
I'm here.
Everybody-
I'm not frozen. It's
We can
85
hear each
degrees.
other.
Yeah.
Everybody looks good. Everybody's moving in my screen.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
there
not.
you go.
I have no movement.
Am I moving, Sam?
No, your eyes are
Oh.
pitched down towards the right, and
What?
Andy looks so
How much
pissed
of a
off. It's
close-up
frightening.
is that?
Really?
Yeah.
Andy looks like Andy literally has a "the fuck you looking at" look, and Mark's
Is it the
eyes
scrunched
are
up nose,
either
kind of like?
I'm sorry.
Is it a scrunched up nose look?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Mark it looks like he's either asleep or, damn it, my shoe's untied.
Ah.
Yeah, my shoe's untied. And it's been that way for 5 minutes. So.
I mean, it's okay, but no, we're on my screen. We're all frozen.
Oh.
Should I come back in?
You look fine on the stream.
Yeah,
so.
you're
No, I'm
you're
not only
moving
not
fine.
on the screen. I'm backstage.
Oh. Yeah, you better
we
come
see
back
you.
in then. We can
Yeah,
see
We see you.
you.
Don't pick your nose or anything. We see you.
All right,
As soon as
I'm gonna come back in.
All right, as soon as I see you,
All right.
I'll pop you back
See you in a few.
Okay.
Here
All
we
right.
go.
Come back.
Sheba.
Yeah.
You gotta come back. You can't go out there. You gotta come back.
Stop
You
it.
know.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell
There,
you, Dr. Vinny Boom Buck. You know.
there we go.
I guess I'm in the dark. I don't know why I'm in the dark here. There we go.
Oh,
that
that makes it. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Too many lights.
I
Got
was
it.
going to say, turn the
Oh,
light
there
on.
I am. Okay, now all is well.
Okay, am I
There we go.
moving?
A little too much. It looks a little palsied. I'm a little worried about you there. And Andy's making me dizzy.
I'm
How
not
many-
moving. It must be
how
in
many
your
drinks-
brain.
How many drinks does it take to make you dizzy? 3, and stop calling me dizzy.
That's right. Oh, stop calling me dizzy. I gotta tell you, you know what I'm saying, you know.
The other night I was having dinner with my wife. I toasted her. I said, to the best sex I ever had. The bartender joined in.
Oh, I gotta tell you, I got so wasted the other day, you know. Not only I took my I can't think of it now. I got so wasted the other day, you know. Now I gotta take home the car that I can't find my car. I gotta take home the car that I took, you know. I tell you, you know. I'm off.
Yeah, my
I'm
wife
sorry,
said
you
she
know.
wanted to have. My wife said, "Do you mind if we have sex in the car?" I said, "No, that'd be great." She said, "Good, keep driving."
Keep driving, you know. I tell you, I have sex with my wife once a week. That's okay. She got 2 guys out completely. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, my doctor said I only have 6 months to live. I said, "I'd like a second opinion." He said, "Okay, you're ugly too."
I tell you, you know. I go to Doc. My Doc Vinny Boom Buck. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I say, Doc, I just feel awful. What's wrong with me? He says, I don't know, but your eyesight's perfect. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got it. You know, I miss every time I look in the mirror. I feel like sick. I don't know. I missed the mirror thing. I'm sorry. You know.
My wife enrolled me in a bridge club. I jump next week. Yeah.
I gotta tell you. I tell you.
Oh God.
You know,
I gotta tell you. We could go on forever. You know.
if you ever, he had a club in New York. It wasn't his club, but it was his name. They just closed, and if you wanted him to never ever work with you, tell him you wanted to work with him.
There you go.
Because when he came, you know the story about him. He was a comic. His wife said, I want you to stay off the road. You know, it's killing our marriage. He loved her. So he quit comedy. And he became a tin man selling, you know, aluminum siding.
Mm-hmm.
She died. He goes back to comedy. So now he's like 40. And he would come into the clubs in New York. I mean, he still had, he was an established career. You know, he was playing Vegas and all that. But he would come in to do spots, you know, to warm up his act.
Right.
And these young putzes would say things to him like, all right, Pop, you'll go on, you know, just as rude as you could humanly be. So any young guy, which was anybody, not him, you know, who would say to him, I'd love to work, he'd blow up at him.
Mm.
And so one day he said to me, out of nowhere, he goes, Sam, do you have the desire to work with me? I said, I don't like standing near you. And he died. He laughed so hard. And from that day on, he liked me. But he only booked, his opening act was always a musical act. Dennis Blair, John.
Dennis
the worst
Blair,
thing I ever saw, huh?
Dennis Blair got that gig for a lot of comics. He used to open for George Carlin a lot too.
Yes, he did. The worst thing I ever saw in terms of like, oh God, this is, oh, you know, like you're grabbing your head like I am now. John Sebastian opened for him at Dangerfield at Radio City. And the first 3 rows were mooks from Queens, just semi-literate goons from Queens. And here comes John Peace and Love Sebastian. They did everything but yell fag and kill him, okay? And he's going like, hey, man, you guys, oh, shut the fuck up, you homo piece of shit. Where's Rodney? It was awful. Awful. Yeah, in fact, the usher came over and told me stop yelling. No, but it was awful to watch. It just was. And he paid him off for the night. He said, I'm paying you off for the week. I can't keep watching you get killed like this, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Now that was on the East Coast, right?
Radio City, yeah.
Radio City. Can't get much.
Steve Martin has a bit about that. He said, you know, he would kill in San Francisco, and he'd go out to New York or LA or any of those places on the East Coast and just die.
Sebastian?
You know? No, Steve Martin.
That's funny because that yeah. Well, he's from LA. He's from Orange County.
Yeah.
And he has an Orange County sensibility about him.
Yeah. So he basically stopped killing himself, saying, "This is not my audience."
Well, you know, it depends. I mean, if he had gone to the Comedy Cellar, he would have killed.
Sure.
If he had gone to Catch a Rising Star, he would have killed. You know, it depends on the club. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, I would physically roadblock him from playing in Queens, but you know,
save yourself. There you go. Yeah.
That's all.
All right. Next topic, I'll give you guys a choice. We can either take care of the Oscar nominations, or I found an article today by Trump's pollster who has divided the Trump supporters in 5 camps.
Let's do the Trump.
I was waiting for someone else to say that. Thanks, Sam.
All right, here we go. What'd you say, Sam?
Auschwitz.
Buchenwald. Yeah.
Yes, right. Dachau. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dixie.
Yeah.
Dixie. There we go.
These tribes, according to, and I can't remember the name of his polling firm. What's the name of they always have them on. They always have him on Fox. It's the one Fox uses all the time.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I can't remember the name of the polling firm, but Fox is always
Rasmussen.
Cool. Rasmussen, that's it.
There we go.
So Rasmussen now, 4 months after he's lost the election, has now divided former President Trump's influence over the party and the people and the Republicans into 5 different camps.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
I'll list them and then I can go into detail on them. Trump boosters, diehard Trumpers, post-Trump GOP, never Trump, and InfoWars GOP. Now, the Trump boosters. What's that?
I don't see the difference between several of those. But,
well, Trump boosters sounds like money people.
Yeah.
Like people who send money. Like in college, you're boosters.
Yeah, like they send a lot of money.
Yeah, those are the money guys.
Yeah.
And which else now?
Okay, they were. I gotta scroll back. Okay.
Well, you said
Trump boosters,
right?
Diehard Trumpers,
idiots.
Post-Trump GOP.
I don't get that.
Those are people that were Trump supporters because he was a Republican. Because he was the Republicans.
Okay, those are the ones who would vote for me if I ran on the Republican ticket. They're Republicans.
Exactly. They're just Republican.
Yeah.
Anybody that would call themselves a Republican is better than anybody that would call themselves a Democrat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never Trump, and those of the 5 groups, that's the only one that would not vote for him again. And InfoWars GOP, which is basically your QAnon crazies.
But you know, the InfoWar Trump would include Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. But that's info QAnon.
Right. But he is off of Trump now.
Well, they may have named
Alex
they may have come up with these names.
Big time.
They may have.
He said, "I'm sick to death of hearing him. I'm sick to death of. I can't stand his name." Yep.
They may have come up with the name InfoWars.
Who's he supporting?
GOP.
I beg your pardon?
I said they may have come up with the name.
I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe nobody right now.
Wow.
You know, I can't think of. You know, I mean, you know, if you're talking about somebody who's a viable candidate in 24, I can't think. I mean, I think you have to be clinically. Well, I thought you had to be clinically insane to support Trump, but I think you have to be clinically insane to support Cruz.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Well, he could have trouble holding on to his Senate seat, let alone running for president.
Diehard Trumpers.
I'll tell you, there's 2 guys who may have trouble holding on to their seat. Lindsey Graham, get it? No.
But he'll hold on to yours.
Depends on what stall the bathroom he's at, you know?
Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's his name? And I'm sorry, and Cruz, yeah. But Rand Paul's in trouble.
Is Ron Johnson going to run again?
Who?
Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Is he going to run again?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. And Roy Blunt from Missouri is not running.
Boy, they're opening up a lot of spots.
And the guy from Ohio's not running, Portman. But I hear Jim, and the obvious choice would be Jim Jordan from.
Oh God! Can you imagine that question in the Senate?
No, but you know what? I have a pretty good source that Jim Jordan is going to primary DeWine for the governorship.
He'll lose.
Well, here's hoping.
I'll tell you why I think he'll lose. I think he's going to lose because his district. You know, you say to yourself, well, how does an idiot like this stay in Congress? And the answer is his district is gerrymandered like a snake. Okay.
Exactly.
If he ran in a legitimately geographically correct district, he'd lose.
Well, if he's running for governor, that would be the district would be the state of Ohio. So.
Yeah, and he's going to get. I think he'll get his ass whipped.
Well, here's hoping. But that's that. And I thought, I can't believe he'd be that dumb to. Well, I could believe he's that dumb.
Stop! Come on, Kathy.
To primary DeWine when he could easily run for Portman's seat in the Senate. So
I think he'd lose that.
Well,
Toomey's not going to run again in Pennsylvania either.
No, and that guy and Fetterman's going to win that seat. The 6 foot 8 inch guy with tat.
Isn't he a great guy? Wow.
Yeah, he's going to win that seat. And I really think that Blunt's seat in Missouri is up for grabs. Roy Blunt.
Yeah, who's the young
Ah.
guy that wants that seat? Oh, I'm blanking on his name.
You already got a
I'd like-
young guy. They already,
The
they
young
already
guy
got
in Missouri.
there. The young guy from Missouri is the guy who gave the rioters the fist.
Oh, Halsey or
Howley.
Howlett? What's Howley?
Howley.
Yeah, no, there's
Howley.
another one. Young African American guy.
But he just won.
Yeah, Howley. Yeah.
None of those people talk to him, None of the other Republicans talk to him.
That's like, hey,
Well, it's
maybe
sort of like Ted Cruz. I mean, they all
Ted Cruz.
hate Cruz. Yeah.
It wasn't
favorite-
until. Go ahead.
I mean, after you told us about how much Al Franken hates Ted Cruz, I went back and
Yeah.
looked at some YouTube clips of him talking about Ted Cruz. Oh God,
I couldn't figure out why Ted Cruz was so despised until this year,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because just cutting away he's an ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an ass.
Well,
There's
well,
nothing. I know Texas has a lot of bad. Listen, Texas has Louis Gohmert.
yeah. the dumbest man in Congress.
And by the way, do you know how much money he's paid in fines for not going through the metal detector?
Thousands. Thousands of people.
22,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
That what it's up to? Yeah. Just
You know what he looks like to me? He looks like every guy you see in what's the name of that National Enquirer, who says that aliens have probed him.
and in his case, you might be right.
Probably true.
No,
Yeah.
if aliens came down to Earth and he was the first person they met, they would go back home and say, "There's no intelligent life here."
Exactly.
Ah, what a waste of life.
Yeah.
God.
Well, then, the young guy in Texas that just barely lost. last
Beto
time.
O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, he's beating the drums
He's
there
going to run
too.
for governor.
Yeah.
He'll go for the governorship. That's 2 years away.
Yeah.
Did you know that Greg Abbott is in a wheelchair? Did we talk about this?
Yes.
we
You know,
didn't.
a tree fell on him.
Yeah. Here's my question: how do you not know a tree is coming at you? You're not a branch.
Good
I
question.
understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, I do. It's a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't join in. I can't join in on the. How do you know it's? How can you avoid a tree falling? Or I can't join in on that one
Because
because
A tree fell on him?
I've had
He
dumber
has-
things impale me. So
Had a tree fell on you? All right.
I've made worse mistakes than not being able to avoid a tree fall.
I listen. When I was 2 years old, I drank a pint of rat poison.
Attaboy.
Oh, wow.
And the thing was, after the first swig, I said, it's not bad.
God.
Kind of sweet tasting. There we go.
Wait a minute. I'm growing whiskers.
I had a rodent problem in
That
my
cheese
garage.
looked pretty good.
Yeah, I had a rodent problem in my garage, and I went to the hardware store, and I didn't want to say I had rats, so I said, can you show me where the mouse stuff is? And so the guy, aisle 4, and I go over there, and I'm looking, and finally another guy comes down the aisle, and I had picked up the rat poison, and he said, is that what you're looking for? And I said, yeah. I said, so really all you have to do is put like a tablespoon in his coffee every morning?
Oh God, that's
I'm
hysterical.
just kidding. I think I have rats in my
That's
garage. Oh my God.
Hysterical.
No one ever has a sense of humor in the hardware
That's
store.
like Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I love. What did Lily Tomlin say? I've poisoned my boss. You think they're going to let me get away with that? Oh God. You know that Jane Fonda is 84.
Jesus.
She looks good, doesn't she?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Oh,
I love when people say, "Yo, what does she look like without makeup?" Better than you. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I tell them.
Yeah, she was out at
Better than
the.
you.
Is it the Keystone Pipeline where she's protesting today? Somewhere out in nature, and she looks
Somewhere.
pretty good.
She
Yeah.
I think she protests that. There's one day a week she protests that every week. It's either Monday or
Yeah.
Friday. I can't think of which day.
Well,
it
she
is.
does the climate change on Friday.
Oh,
And
climate
then,
change. Okay.
Yeah.
Keystone.
And I think it was the Keystone that she was on today.
She's still on good terms with Ted Turner.
Wow.
I thought Ted Turner was dead.
No. No, that's Ike Turner.
Yeah, and Tina wasn't on such good terms.
Good turns out. No.
You know, they asked Tina Turner her response when Ike Turner died, and her representative said, and this is the perfect answer, Miss Turner has nothing to say about that person's death or when he was alive or when he's dead. That's right, because he beat the living crap out of her for half her life. Screw him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Ike and Tina Turner. You know, when I went to Howard, I saw them all the time. They used to play at the Howard Theater, and it was amazing how
Yeah.
great they were. But what a monster he was! Jesus.
Boy, he was. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
What's the line? If you can't, was that they asked somebody about someone who had died? And she said, "Well, if you can't say anything good about the dead, don't say anything." And then never said another word.
no. Well, you know,
Yeah.
this is a famous quote. This is from him. I beat my wife. Who don't?
Yeah.
Who don't?
Jeez. Oh.
Who don't?
Oh. We'd like to think we can't. We've come a long way, but not that far yet.
No, not that far.
Yeah.
Not as
Okay,
long
the
as
Oscars.
Sinbad. Huh?
The Oscars. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
All right.
30
Holy
minutes left.
Sinbad, yes.
Let's see if we can
Okay.
bat
I mean,
some of these.
has anybody seen any movies this year? Have any
Yes,
movie
I
theaters even been open?
Yes, I
Well,
have.
you live in New York.
I'm in the Screen
Well,
Actors
you're a
Guild
member.
nominating
Yeah, you're the
committee.
member.
No, but
you're
I'm
a
in the
member of
Screen
the
Actors Guild
guild.
nominating committee. I get the DVDs mailed to me.
Okay, well,
Oh.
we want your reviews then.
Of the
All right.
8 nominees, I have seen 3. Here, I'll list them.
You have a list. What's
I have a-
nominated? Do you have a list?
The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah,
Oh, okay,
Mank,
I've heard that.
Saw that.
Minari, Nomadland,
Saw that.
Promising Young Woman,
Saw that.
Sound of Metal,
Nope.
and The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Saw that.
Seen that.
Of those,
Great.
I've seen Nomadland, The Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. My favorite of those was The Trial of the Chicago 7. If I had to pick out of the 3.
I thought it was a ripoff beyond belief that The Five Bloods was not nominated.
Yeah.
I
Spike
saw
Lee's
that. That was
movie.
good.
And I thought
That
it
was
was
good.
furthermore a huge ripoff that Delroy Lindo wasn't nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable, just magnificent. I think that Chadwick Boseman's going to win for obvious reasons.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, Spike Lee names his movies wrong. He needs the Five Bloods was not the name for the movie. It was too.
You thought it was
too,
a bad name?
Obscure. Yeah. He always has bad names for his movies.
I don't know. Black Klansman was a good name.
That was a good one. That was good.
actor.
And that he was definitely should have been. That was a definite good one. That nominated one for too. That was great.
As long as we're talking about it, here's the actors in a leading role.
Okay.
Riz Ahmed in The Sound of Metal.
Same to him.
What's that?
I said same to him. All right.
Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
That's your winner.
Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Gary Oldman in Mank. And Steve Yeun in Minari.
I can't comment positively on the Mank because despite the raves it got, my wife and I could not get through it after 40 minutes.
There, it's about a drunk, you know.
Well, that's okay. So was Days of Wine and Roses, and so was Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I thought it was boring. I thought it was self-serving. I hated that movie. Hated it.
to me, the interest of it was the fact that you know if you like Citizen Kane, you like the little background history and stuff like that, and there were some interesting lines about how Hollywood was back then, and the fact that I actually was able to tour the mansion, the castle. I can see all the places I took the tour. Hey, I remember that bench. Hey, I remember that table.
I love that tour.
That was a great tour.
By the way, you remember what they did real quick? I'm sorry, but you remember what they do if you work there and you're leaving, they let you go to the balcony above the pool and dive in.
Oh,
No
geez.
one uses that pool. No one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as a goodbye gift, they let you, put on your your trunks and dive into it.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
Very
So that
cool.
was
Yeah.
an amazing tour. Amazing.
It was absolutely wonderful. I did
And
it at night.
it's a working farm.
Yeah. They still have most of the exotic
Actresses.
animals are still on there.
And slaves. It's great.
Yeah.
Big, strong
Okay.
man.
Actresses. Let's hear it.
Actresses
Oh, yeah, good
in a
actor.
leading role, and hold on, and my screen just went out. Hold on.
That's not going to make it easier.
Can't
that's
you
for
gotta
sure.
you gotta do recall. So it's like, was it Katharine Hepburn?
Mary Pickford.
Yes.
Mary Pickford?
Yeah. Yes. Lillian Gish.
Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, Elizabeth Taylor.
For Orphans in the Storm. That was actually the Gish sisters. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh.
But,
Sarah Bernhardt.
Paulette Goddard.
Katharine Hepburn.
Four-time
Oh, my
winner.
God.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man.
oh wow. Yep.
Morning Glory. Guess who's coming to
man.
dinner on Golden Pond? What was the fourth? Oh, The Lion in Winter.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. That was a good one. Peter O'Toole. Peter O'Toole.
Great.
Yeah.
And playing a sniveling little shit.
Actress.
Anthony Hopkins. Here we go.
Anthony Hopkins. Yep.
All right, here we go. Actresses in a leading
All right.
role. Viola Davis, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Andra Day,
that's
The
good.
United States versus Billy Holiday. Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman. Frances McDormand, No Man's Land. And my screen just went out again. Oh, for crying out loud.
And Carrie Mulligan in Promising Young Woman.
Yeah.
That's
I was
probably
listening to a couple on the thing. They say Carrie Mulligan's probably going to take it, but
I got to tell you something. That is the toughest race of any of the acting
yeah.
because they all turned in. I mean, Viola Davis, jeez.
Oh,
I
God.
mean,
She's
it's a
just
good-
fabulous in anything she does.
she is, but they
Just-
all turned in phenomenal
Yeah.
performances.
Yeah.
All of
I
them.
mean-
I mean, Viola Davis in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was amazing, and Carrie Mulligan, she's been a great actress for a long time, even though she
Yeah.
looked 12.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to exclude someone, it's going to be McDormand because she's already got two, and that
Yeah.
works against you. That
Yeah.
works against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the woman who played Billie Holiday she's the dark horse because she was brilliant.
Mm.
But it was a good movie. Her performance was good, but the movie, I guess, was kind of semi-pan.
Well,
But-
you can't watch you can't watch a movie about Billie Holiday without leaving depressed.
Exactly.
Yeah. True.
I mean, even Silence of the Lambs had a happy ending, for God's sakes. I mean,
Yeah. It did. He actually was able to eat his tormentor.
I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Great last line. That was wonderful.
By
But,
the way, the woman who played her buddy in the FBI, Casey Lemons, the one who was like when she gets her badge and that the girl in the audience gives her the thumbs up. She directed Talk to Me. She's a director now.
Oh wow.
Casey Lemons.
Yeah.
She's a big director now.
Huh.
Cool. I guess there's like two women directors nominated this time. So
All right, so
Well,
now we're
there you
doing
go.
supporting.
Okay, supporting. Let me see. All right, supporting actor. Sacha Baron Cohen in The Trial of the Chicago Seven.
Might be your winner.
Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah. Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami.
Mm.
Paul Raci, Sound of Metal. And Lakeith Stanfield, Judas and the Black Messiah.
see what happens. Usually, if they have two, they knock each other out.
A woman
in the
directed
same
that
film.
One Night in Miami. The actress, I can't remember her name now.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. She won the Oscar for supporting actress
Right.
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I think
she was just on. She was just on Saturday Night Live, and I can't remember her name.
I'm going to pull with Sacha Baron Cohen because he has two movies that are actually involved. This Seven and the other one, and I think he'll probably get it.
The Rudy
did a great
Giuliani
job.
one.
I'm
He
sorry.
did a great.
The Rudy
His
Giuliani.
Chicago Seven as Abby Hoffman, but he also did a great job with Borat the movie.
Borat, yeah, that was the name. But yeah, all I can think of is Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I hated that because for 1 week I couldn't get the thought of Rudy Giuliani touching himself out of my head.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that picture of him laying on the bed with his hands in his
Yes,
pants.
I
Oh,
see. I
God.
didn't need that.
No.
I mean, the only thing that's good for is like if you're trying to lose weight, it's a great diuretic.
Oh,
But
yes.
oh God, did you ever
that
see the
and
scene?
Four
Did you ever
Seasons
see the
Land-
thing where Trump is making a speech and Giuliani's in the front row, and he wipes his brow and wipes it on his girlfriend's arm?
Oh, yeah,
No.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Classy.
Then
Classy.
when he's standing there and his hair dye is running down his
Right
cheek
down
because
his
he was
cheek.
You know what?
sweating so
A
much.
friend of mine said that's not hair
Ugh.
dye. He's so full of shit it oozed out.
Yes, it's
Yes.
oozing out of his brain. Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
in
if-
actor, now for actress in a supporting role, I have seen none of these performances. So we've got Maria Bakalova in Borat subsequent movie film. She played the young assistant, right?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
daughter or something like
I'd like
Glenn
to thank Rudy Giuliani for all his support.
that. Exactly.
Yes.
Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy. Olivia
Oh.
Colman in The Father. Amanda Seyfried in Mank. And Yeon
Mhm.
Yoon Jung in Minari.
I think they're going to give it to Glenn Close,
You think?
and it's
I-
going
It
to
was
be
very
it's
good,
going
I
to
have
be a
to say.
makeup. It's going to be a makeup Oscar
Oh, for the one that
Yeah.
for the many times she deserved it and didn't
She
get it.
hasn't gotten an Oscar
Yeah.
yet, has she? We lost him.
Oh, we lost.
we think about
We lost him.
he'll be back. Somebody who was it? I think it was what's the name herself? Meryl Streep. I guess Meryl Streep has been nominated 17 times, but only won 3. I mean, we think of her like being this
Yeah.
big award, but really it's just that she's nominated all. She's always one of the 5
Yeah.
finalists.
Yeah.
And there were some years where she was both actress and supporting actress. Nominees. For
Yeah.
both, so.
Yeah.
Oh, there I am.
She's always had a lot of
I
work.
pressed something and I went away. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Glenn Close. Olivia Colman won for the one about the royals,
The Crown.
The Crown,
Yeah.
and I just think they're going to give it to Glenn Close. I do.
Yeah. Did anybody see that movie?
What?
Hillbilly
Elegy?
Elegy.
Yes.
Elegy?
I saw it. Yeah.
What'd you think about it?
Well, I had read the book and then saw the movie a couple of years later, and it was kind of tarnished by knowing that the guy who wrote the book has turned into an ultra conservative Trump supporter. So
Oh wow.
It's
Can't put that
heartbreaking.
oversight. But Glenn Close, I mean, she did a fabulous job. It was
Yeah.
it
Great
was an
actress.
awful story.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
as
thought,
usual. I mean,
did
she
a good
always
job.
turns in a great performance.
I've
You know,
seen. I have seen.
But if you ever wanted to
I
know about Ohio, watch the Hillbilly Elegy because that's where it took place. And that, boy, that Southern Ohio, you are with the hillbillies down in
Oh yeah.
in
We used to.
Southern Ohio.
around Portsmouth.
Tony Hayes and I did a club down in Chillicothe, and it's like
Yeah.
how that state changes from north to south
Exactly.
is amazing. It's
Yep.
like right at the
Yep.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
that's like? That's like Pennsylvania. Between Pittsburgh and Philly, it's Clansylvania.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
documentary
Well, it's-
feature for the fourth time ever. I have seen one of the documentaries that's been nominated.
Which
Oh,
one?
wow.
So, My Octopus Teacher.
I
My
saw,
wife and I just went.
I saw
Yeah.
Crip Camp.
Oh, okay.
How was that?
Heart rendering.
Yeah.
You know,
I-
it's about these kids who have just stifling disabilities.
Uh,
And one of them, the guy who created the movie, went to this camp, and they call it Crip Camp. That's the name they gave it. And he talked about his first job in radio. There were 7 steps to get to the soundboard, and he had to slide up every day, pull his body up every day to get there. And I'm sorry to harken back to this, but it always it's what I despise about Trump, that he made fun of that handicapped reporter
Yeah.
without
Mhm.
Serge Kovaleski. Yes,
Yeah.
and I am the only person in America who knows his name. But Serge Kovaleski, that he made fun of him,
Yeah.
that somebody should have just punched him in the mouth and broken his neck from that point on. Just how do you vote for that? I wasn't making fun. Yes, you were. And then you see these kids with just heart rendering, as I said, disabilities. I mean, how do you
Yeah.
but it's an uplifting movie because they don't feel sorry for them.
Hmm.
And they lead lives. They lead lives,
Yeah.
That's good.
It's wonderful, but it might win. It might. Who knows? That's a very there's long form documentary and there's short form documentary, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
The documentaries
Is
are
that
always.
the whole list? Who are the other ones? What are the other ones?
The other ones are Collective, The Mole Agent, My Octopus Teacher, and Time.
What was My Octopus Teacher about?
It was, my wife and I just saw that. It's a South African snorkeler and photographer and underwater photographer comes upon a octopus, and it didn't treat him the way most octopuses treat him, which is basically fear him. It was kind of curious about him. And so he decided to go down there every day, not antagonize him, but just observe and just be seen by him every day to see if the octopus would make any effort to explore him more. And he got a great film out of it, because day by day the octopus became more, realized that he wasn't going to eat him or capture him or whatever, and so the octopus started making contact, and it was almost like getting to know a stray cat, because cats aren't exactly chummy. And it was a good film.
He didn't name calamari.
No. In fact, I think the last day,
That's how he knew.
the last day, a shark got it.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh man.
There you go.
Yeah. So he got
Really?
an agent.
So
Yeah.
he got an agent. Yeah, he got an agent.
The shark gets him.
Uh,
Yeah, so
You're working
Yeah,
for,
it's like-
what are you working for?
that one.
Ink?
I've heard more about that one, like just
Well,
in passing.
it was-
and
I didn't know this before the movie, but he explains in the documentary that for a female octopus, the lifespan is pretty much once you lay your eggs, you're kaput.
Uh-huh.
And so it's very hard for them to make it past all of the predators that they have in the ocean. I mean, they don't even have to be large as a shark. They could be, other predators.
And they don't have any
Yeah.
defense mechanisms.
Right. Because once they've laid their eggs, they do everything they can to protect that nest. And they just get pummeled, So,
Eaten.
yeah. And they lay hundreds of eggs and maybe 2 or 3 make it. So
Wow.
God, that's like
Yeah.
a Hasidic family. Terrible.
the whole theory there.
That's what
Now
I
the,
say.
Well, now I want to hear the last category, the music. What songs have been nominated? I'm sure I haven't heard of any of those.
no,
either.
hold on. I haven't heard any of the songs, but I have seen 2 of the animated films.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I saw
So you're gonna go with
Onward,
Soul?
I saw Onward and Soul, and the other 3 are Over the Moon, a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, and Wolfwalkers.
Hmm.
And of those, the 2 that I saw, Onward and Soul, I liked Onward better.
Got it.
All right, let's go to the movie. Let's go to the songs. Original song, "Fight for You" from Judas and the Black Messiah, "Hear My Voice" from The Trial of the Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga.
That was a very funny movie.
I'll have to check that out.
What? What?
If that's what I'm thinking of with Will Ferrell,
Oh, I heard of that. Yeah, I think I did see that one.
it's
Ah.
very
What?
funny.
That was funny. IOC from The Life Ahead, and Speak Now from One Night in Miami.
What is her name?
None.
She's an African American actress, and she won for the Beale Street movie, and she's in
Oh.
911. Oh man, and she was in Boys in the Hood, and she was in 227.
Oh, you're talking about the one that directed the Miami film.
Yeah,
That one? Regina King.
thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
very talented.
Let me see. I have not seen any of the foreign international feature films, which surprises me. I usually
I
see
bet
at
you
least
can see them on. I don't know if you have it, but if you have Netflix, I bet you can see most of them.
probably. I got Netflix. Original screenplay: Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7. Adapted screenplay: Borat. Subsequent movie film. What did they adapt that from? That's funny. I think what that means is after the film was cut and edited, they went back and wrote the screenplay for it.
That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
That's what
Little
adapted
improvise.
means. Okay, other nominees: The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Now,
Man,
Nomadland.
they just told Spike Lee to kiss their ass this year, didn't they? Jesus.
They sure did. Nomadland. The thing that was interesting about that is the guy who wrote the book was in it, plating himself.
Wow.
That was just
Huh.
it
Well,
was
you
basically
know, I think what happened with Spike Lee was 2 years ago. Wasn't the Black Klansman was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
great film.
Green Book won the Oscar for Best Movie,
Oh yeah.
and Spike Lee won the Oscar for Best Screenplay. But he was so pissed off that he didn't win Best Movie. He stormed out of the theater.
Yeah.
I remember that.
They don't like that.
No.
They don't like that. They like it when you see the nominees in split screen, and somebody wins, and the others applaud very enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Unless you're a comedian, and then you can go, "Son of a bitch," you know, and they accept that. But
What?
he stormed out, man.
Or Samuel
you watch
Jackson,
people-
who does a take to the show and goes, somebody loses.
Here's a category I like just because of one of the nominees. Costume design. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Okay. Mank.
Uh-huh.
Mulan, which I saw that one. That was pretty outstanding costuming. And Pinocchio, and I love this, Emma, which is kind of unusual because I don't even think they made a film Emma this year. You just throw that into nomination and costume design.
They just throw it in.
What was the first one?
They needed a sixth
Ma
movie.
Rainey's
Yeah.
Black
Ma
Bottom.
Rainey's Black Bottom.
That'll get it.
What was the second one? Mank?
Mank, and then Mulan. I saw Mulan. That I wasn't that taken with the story, but
Well, you know,
Costume.
Probably gonna be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
yeah, I can't imagine Mank winning. All you had to do is go to a thrift store and pick up 6 suits. Jesus.
Yeah, you could just get the suits from the people who played characters in the castle, and that was basically what they were. You know.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
But Ma
there you
Rainey's
go.
Black Bottom was a very different thing because these were black musicians in the 40s, and they didn't wear what other people wore.
Yeah.
I got some
Yeah, I
good news.
put my money on Ma Rainey's then.
Sam,
Ma
I got,
Rainey might win a lot of Oscars.
Sam, I
Yeah.
got some good news for you.
All right.
Original score, The Five Bloods got a nominee for the original score,
There you go.
All right, good.
along with
But not
Mank,
enough.
Minari, News of the World, and Soul. I think Soul's going to take that one just because the people they got on that, they got 3 major names on that Soul soundtrack for the original score.
John Baptiste.
John Baptiste, shit.
Oh, I
I'll have
love
to look him up, but
Oh.
yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Film editing. Anybody care about film editing? Boy, Sound of Metal's on that. I saw Sound of Metal. I like
My cousin cares about film editing, but she's not here. She's a film editor.
I gotta tell you, no, is it
Bring
audio
Hollywood.
editing? Oh.
No, she was nominated for an Emmy for a War in the Pacific.
Wow.
And for
Wow.
7 years, she was the editor for Castle, and she was the showrunner and editor for Man in the High Castle.
Oh wow.
that was
She's a big deal.
That was a great
pretty
series
good.
for 3 seasons.
You know, it's so funny. People say, "Do you keep in touch?" I go, "You know, I'm amazed she still calls me." But what happened was she's from the East Coast. She's from the DC area.
Right.
And she got married, met a guy out there, got married. They were married for 20 years, and he left her. And she's got friends, but she's kind of alone out there. And the divorce, she lost both parents like in a space of 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
And then a year later, her husband left her.
Oh, guess
and
who got cheesed as in the director? Not just Spike Lee.
Regina
but
King.
Regina King got cheesed. Yeah. In fact, Thomas Vinterberg got nominated for another round. That movie wasn't even nominated for Best Picture, but he got Best Director nomination.
Yeah.
She's got an Oscar on her mantle. She'll survive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, she's got an Oscar on her mantle. All right, before we go, I have one more golf joke.
All right.
So this guy is teaching this woman how to play golf, and he's very patient with her, and he takes 3 strokes off of her game. And she says, "I'm so grateful. I want to show you my gratitude." And she takes him into the woods and gives him a BJ. And the next day, they're playing golf, and he gets 2 more strokes off of her game. And she takes him in the woods and gives him a BJ. And the third day, she says, "Listen, I feel terrible about this. I have to tell you something. I'm a transvestite." He goes, "You goddamn bitch. And you've been hitting off the women's tee?"
That's funny. That's funny.
That's a great joke.
That is a great joke. Well, thanks again for joining us. Another hour of us just talking about all the things that concern us, make us laugh, just things that are in the news and what we talk about.
I'm depressed about the octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
told me
had to
the
give it
ending.
away, didn't you? Yeah.
Especially I didn't say spoiler alert when I gave that one away.
Yeah,
Sorry about
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, it wasn't
Hey,
like I was getting my
Kurt
ticket money
Vonnegut, man,
together. It's all
doesn't
right.
matter.
that. Well, let's hope we all get back to the movies anyway. I have not been in a movie theater. I tell you what, the last thing I went to that was with an audience, we saw Disney on Ice down at the Little Caesars Arena, and that would have been a year ago in February. So it's been 13 months since I've seen.
We
any-
miss that so much. We miss that so much. We have we have two great movie theaters near us. You know,
Mhm.
beautiful arena. You know, stadium seating,
Yeah.
easy chairs.
Yeah, what theaters are by your house?
The AMC. There's an AMC, and there's a Regal, and you know, a bowling alley opened up like the day before the pandemic hit, and they just reopened.
Wow.
Wow.
Probably $500 a lane now,
You know what?
to make up for it. But and they're now allowing 50% capacity.
What are we at?
Wow.
What are we at in Michigan? Are we at 50% now?
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
75% if Cuomo touched you.
Or said nasty things to you. Ask you
Oh, I
about
don't
Yeah.
mind that.
we just got
I
an
know.
email. We got an email today from my daughter's high school. They have 9 cases since last Friday.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
COVID.
COVID, yeah.
The,
And of course
the coach of the Connecticut women's basketball team just tested positive.
Oof.
Yeah,
Gino Oriema.
I tell you what, all the brackets in the N6 and the Sweet 64, whatever they call it, the March Madness tournament, there's going to be some bracket busters for COVID. I wonder if you can put money on COVID.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
you know,
There you
a
go.
lot of people don't know this, but Warren Buffett has offered, he does this every year, $1 billion if you can correctly name the 64 teams down to the 32, down to the 16, down to the 8, the 4, the 2, and the champ. If you can get them all correct, so the first time I heard this offer, I thought, how certain is he this can't be done? How
It-
completely certain
It's more
is
than
he?
I think it's more than I think the odds are more than $1 billion to 1.
That's
You've
why
gotta
he
have-
feels.
You've got to have 32 games all go your way. 32.
That's
Just
correct.
Then you have to have 16 go your way.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Then
And then
8,
8.
then 4,
It's-
then 2,
Wow.
So
then
what you're
1.
doing is you're take 1 times 2, times it again, times it again,
Uh-huh.
times it again, and that exponentially is how you get up to $1 billion.
No, he's as certain as he could. I'm sure he's, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sure he's certain.
He
Yeah,
he
he's
did.
got-
his
Could Warren
homework
Buffett be
before he,
accused of
put that
murder
out
if the
Huh?
guy shoots himself because he loses on the last
Oh.
game?
there. Yeah. Yeah.
How are the Sammy? How are the Cuomo investigations coming? How's that going to
Well,
work?
everybody but me has called for his resignation, and and let me say something. I'm pretty sure he did this. Okay,
Yeah.
but why aren't we giving him, you know, due process?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I mean. I'm not saying he didn't do it, but you know, if we gave Trump due process, give him due process, and the truth will out.
But let's treat him like a Republican. They
No,
Boys
no,
will be boys and let it
I
go.
do not want to treat him like a Republican. No, that's not what we want. See, the thing is, is there somebody besides Cuomo that can do that job? I think there is.
No.
And he's looking at you right now, baby. Well, I knew that would get a laugh.
There, I'll be your press secretary, Sam.
Oh my God. Oh, you know, New York's loss would be America's gain.
Sorry I was late. Sorry I was late to the cabinet meeting, but I scored some great edibles.
Yeah, I can just hear your campaign slogan now. The Democrat without nipple clips.
That's right. Yeah. Here's my campaign slogan. All right, Sam Greenfield for governor. Why? Because you need weed.
There you go.
And I can get it for you.
No, New York doesn't have weed yet.
No,
We're
Really?
Michigan is hipper. Michigan is hipper than New York. I can't believe that.
Wow.
Jersey has it. Pennsylvania has it.
You have
We got- we
medicinal.
got- We got people token up right now in the alleys,
Can I
right
tell you
now.
something? You cannot walk up my block and not smell weed unless
Well,
you walk
first-
up to a cop and blow it in his face. No one cares. No,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they really don't. It's like a non-law law. I mean, it doesn't matter.
But they're missing out on other tax benefits.
You know, there was a woman in my building who said, put this sign up and said, someone in this building is smoking marijuana. And I wrote beneath it, thank God they didn't catch me. Just one? I can't, I'm in the wrong building. What the hell? One? Are you kidding? There's four. Please. But you know, it's such a, you saw Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest thing in that movie to me, besides the guy who went batshit crazy, okay,
I like the guy who shook. Yeah.
yes, but that we were supposed to believe that those actors were 18.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
The one was balding, you know.
Well, what are they saying about Cuomo? Is he going to survive this or no?
Only 35% of New Yorkers in the latest poll want him to resign, and that's statewide.
Yeah. Wow. So they're not as pissed at him about the nursing home stuff as we think they are.
They're
right?
much more pissed off about him at the nursing. That's the thing, though. That
Oh,
took it off the front page, but they're much more pissed off about that.
okay.
In fact, I believe that had this scandal not emerged, he would have resigned
Wow.
over that.
Oh, yeah.
Over that.
That was building some.
You
steam,
saved
yeah.
me. You saved me, sweetheart. You saved me.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hey, can I touch both?
Let me
you
show
two?
you how
Come on, be
grateful
a
I
lady.
am.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is going to be a tough re-election. Is there anybody
No.
I can grab?
But see,
Yeah.
no, but the last woman said that he put his hand up under her blouse and touched her breast.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
getting a little
and
seamier. Yeah.
yeah, and the first thing I thought is that is so clumsy. You touch
Yeah.
him on the outside while you're unbuttoning
Yeah.
the blouse with the other hand.
Yeah.
You
What
heard
are
What
you,
a
what,
loser.
17?
Sam,
Come
did you hear what
on.
Bill
Yeah.
Maher said?
Huh?
Did you hear what Bill Maher said about that?
No.
He said, I just find it hard to believe a New York Italian without game.
That's hysterical. Well, you know, when Pee Wee Herman was arrested,
Oh, God.
my joke was Pee Wee Herman was arrested for masturbating into orgasm twice in a movie theater. I can't believe this. There's a medal for that in my neighborhood. And you know the joke, name three men who were shot in the back of the head. Lincoln, Kennedy, and the guy sitting in front of Pee Wee.
I think Robert Klein was on Letterman when that happened, and he goes, and Letterman I think just asked him about it. I think it was on the list of things that Robert wanted to talk about. And so
Uh-huh.
he set him up great because Letterman goes, so what do you think about this Pee Wee Herman thing? He goes, VCR, Pee Wee VCR.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing about that. You know, the VCRs and now phones there's no more porn theaters.
No.
No.
No, you know, I mean, and by the way, it was at a porn movie house. What did they think he was going to be doing? Devising his latest chess move? No, that's
Exactly.
what they're
Yeah.
there for.
He was looking
Yeah.
for Pee Wee's Playhouse ideas.
By the way, the longest, hardest laugh I've ever had in my life, ever. I mean, I thought I was going to die. I was laughing so hard. I was in one of those theaters, right? And a black guy walks into the theater, stands there, looks around and goes, damn, these are some lonely looking motherfuckers. I couldn't catch my breath. I could not, I was hysterical. And the funniest thing was no one looked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make eye contact. Yeah.
Now, don't make eye contact. Now, even Annette Haven didn't look down from the screen.
Ah, Sam
If I
making
can-
Sam
can
making
honor-
porn star references.
Yes. You know, she had three things in her contract. This is true because she was the leading porn actress of her time. No
Right.
anal, no
Yeah.
anal, no discipline bondage, and no shooting in her eye.
Oh, jeez.
And she said, "Are you kidding? That stings." And I went, "I got to take your word for it." I'm sure you're right, but
Yeah.
After that, she became known as Goggles Havens.
exactly.
That's why she always wore glasses, you know.
Is Ron Jeremy?
Yeah, how's his trial going? Isn't he
I
up for?
I haven't heard a lot about it. You know,
Are
If
we
I
still
was-
alive?
yeah. Do you know? You want to hear something amazing? Ron Jeremy, after porn, you know, for a guy that unbelievably unattractive, after his career ended, he made a fortune at going on the lecture circuit at colleges. And do you know who his biggest audience was?
Oh God, Liberty
Jewish
University.
friends, Jewish
Oh.
fraternities,
Yeah.
because he's Jewish.
He's Jewish, yeah.
Yeah, and they thought, my God, this guy's got a schlong like a femur, and and you know, like, I mean, he was charging $8,000 a lecture, 10,000, and doing like 3 a week.
Jeez.
You know,
Man.
I tried that, but they said, well, you're not a porn star, and well, we don't want to be rude, but let's leave out the other reason. I said, all right.
You didn't bring enough weed.
There you go.
Well, that's part of the reason. Yeah.
You didn't bring enough weed for everybody.
Yeah. You know, the last thing you need on it, it's a funny thing about college campuses. You know, they'll after you do a college, you know, after that night, you know, they'll take you to dinner, right?
Been
They'll
there.
take you to a bar,
Yep,
right?
been there. Yep.
They will not get you high. They will not get you high. If it could be the hippest, it could be Berkeley.
Yep.
They will not get you high. And I've asked.
Yeah, I begged. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's just it's just so funny to me because I said to this one guy, look, I know you can't do it with me, but does anybody have like a joint? Because I didn't want to carry it on the plane, which might give you some idea of how long ago it was that I did stand up at a college. And the guy looked at me like, if I can use a reference, Hermione Gingold in Music Man. You know, she was like, you can't smoke marijuana. I said, oh, sure I can. Here, I'll show you how. What do you mean I can't? I said, so we do the gig, and one of the guys does slip me a J. And I said, I'm not going to do it in my room. So I walk around and I smoke, and I get on the elevator and I'm going to my room, and I hear my voice in the room. I hear my voice in the room, and I'm freaking out. And I open the door, and you know how you leave the TV on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me on Evening at the Improv.
Yeah, that's funny.
Wow.
But I thought, oh my God, this is the greatest weed ever. I can actually detect my own voice. I
can
can
hear myself.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then, you know, I walk in and I go, do I still have that shitty sweater? Jesus Christ. Sam, you were very funny. Thanks, bud. No, I mean, well, I didn't think you were bullshitting. What am I supposed to say? Oh, do me a favor. I don't know if I told you this. You know, DC. Did I tell you this about DC Benny?
Yeah, you told us to look at his YouTube.
Yeah, his thing on Vic Henley.
Vic
It's
Henley,
just,
I saw it.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So sad that guy died, but he kind of killed himself.
How's that?
Booze.
Oh, really?
You know, we used to play poker together.
I
didn't know this till after we had, you know, I had stopped playing.
Uh-huh.
Eddie Brill, who ran the game, had to hide booze from Vic when he came over. Had to like put all his booze like under the bed, couldn't have
Oh,
it out,
geez.
Wow.
Yeah. Hmm.
two guys
Yeah.
at that poker game are dead. Him and a Detroiter, William Stevenson.
William Stevenson, yep.
William, he quit smoking cigarettes for a long time. And then one day I see a picture of him in Facebook and his arms around somebody and there's a cigarette in his hand. And I know you might think I'm being harsh, but these guys, J.R. Havlin and Eddie Brill, they're talking about, he's our dear friend and we're having a memorial. And I would never say this to them. I wouldn't. But, you watched him get fatter. You watched him, have a pastrami sandwich and French fries at midnight. You
Right.
watched him drink 6, 7, 8 beers a night, just in the confines of the game, 4-hour game. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You watched him smoke cigarettes. You watched him smoke weed. You saw him gain like another 50 pounds in 3 years. You didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to his 60th birthday party. So Ben
Yeah, I mean, he was a lovely guy.
Ben and I came to Cafe Wa that back, I don't know, was that 4 years ago now?
Yeah.
And we brought with us, we filled up our trunk with Fago and Verner's and
Oh, wow.
potato chips, all the shit from Detroit that he doesn't get in New York. And he was very appreciative because it was very,
He
it
was
was
a
like
lovely guy. It was a tragedy he's gone,
yeah. I'm still in touch with some of his family back here in Detroit.
But I can't, I just, you're watching it happen. And I think
Yeah.
their attitude was, well, I'm not his father,
Yeah.
but you're his friend.
Yeah, did he just die at home in his sleep, or did you hear
Yeah,
about
got
it?
to sleep.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
Pretty much. If you didn't start dying in your sleep, by the time it's over with, you're in your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked me once, do I believe in heaven? And I go, no, not at all. I said, heaven this is just me, was concocted by organized religion to make you behave while you're here.
Mm.
That if you lead a righteous life, heaven awaits you.
Well, that leaves me out.
Patton Oswalt, Sky Cake. It's like-
Sky cake.
Well, Diane Keaton did a documentary called Heaven, where she interviewed old people,
Uh-huh.
about their view of heaven. She asked Letterman, because he had her on the show promoting the film, and she said to him, "What do you think of when you think of heaven?" And he said, "When I think of heaven, I think of a really great rock concert, and I've got really crappy seats."
That's a good line.
Yeah.
The only material I ever did on heaven was back, 25 years ago, when we were when the people were blowing themselves up to go to heaven and be with the 72 virgins.
All the
Oh,
versions.
yeah.
And I said, the fact that there's a controversy that whether it's 70 or 72 versions, to me, means it's not worth taking the chance. Because if they can't even get the number right,
Yeah.
They can't get
They're not
that.
going to be 72.
is it
Forget
70?
it.
I go, all right, let's say they did get, let's say it is 72. Let's give ourselves the benefit of 2 more virgins. I go, what do you need that for? I mean, can you think of any scenario where you want 72 virgins?
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't imagine that. That just that doesn't sound appealing at all. And all I can think of is it's such a sexually repressed society that's probably a bonus. That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're kept from the sex so long that when you get it, it's compounded by the 72.
Yeah.
The joke I heard was that a Muslim blew himself up, and he gets to heaven, and Patrick Henry starts nibbling on his ear, and Thomas Jefferson starts grabbing his ass, and James Madison starts licking his neck, and he goes, "What the hell's going on?" And Allah says, I promised you 72 Virginians.
Uh,
72 Virginians. Very good.
Sadly, one of them was Pat Robertson, but
Yeah, I mean,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
you gotta have a contemporary one in there. Oh, you gotta have
Yeah. Jerry Falwell Jr.
and Jerry Falwell Jr. is off to the side watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have never been happier to see anyone fall from grace, and that includes Nixon, in my
Yeah.
life than
I
him.
know.
Than
Wasn't that
him.
a great story? Just a
Oh,
great
God.
story. Yeah.
I can't get enough of that. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm
Can you imagine if Nixon had been born 40 years later? He would have basically done nothing wrong.
nothing.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
reelected twice.
40 years later, if he was
I
born
mean,
40 years
in
later,
terms
all the
of
things that
what
were
he
just
did.
deplorable.
You know, it was nothing. You know,
Well,
they broke in to look at people's files. You know, now we got a president telling people storm the Capitol and shit on the floor. I mean,
yeah.
eh,
Yeah. Now they just be hacking into their computers now, their email systems. Like,
somebody,
wait a minute, the Russians did that, didn't they?
yes,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
tweeted Donald Trump Jr. I thought this was so great. The guy said, every time I see you, you're either skiing, hunting, or looking at that whore you call a girlfriend.
Oh, jeez.
He said, I mean, do you work for a living? Or is that the reason that the Trump organization is down 33% in the stock market? You don't work.
Exactly. Oh,
Hilarious.
But I encourage him to keep that up.
what his tweeting? Yeah. His
lazy
tweets
ways.
are priceless. Yeah.
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 No.
And stay with Kimberly.
You know, she just turned 53.
I
Uh-oh.
know. And he's
Uh-oh.
yeah, and he's only 40, 41, 42. There's like
42.
10 years difference.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing that's really funny. Really funny. And I'm saying this as a man of experience, okay?
We can tell.
Well, I don't want to say what kind. Anyway, if you're dating someone for over a year, okay, and she says, you know, I feel like we're already married, that
Oh,
relationship is over faster than I can say this sentence.
Yeah.
You never, this is my advice to any woman who's 11 years older than you never say that.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You know why? You're not even engaged.
That's right.
You're not even engaged. And he has described you by saying, well, you know, with Hillary, God help me, with Kimberly, you got to lower the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not his choice for wife.
Yeah.
Although they all seem to go for trashy women.
well,
You think? Yeah.
You know, I mean, have you seen Eric Trump's wife?
Yes. Yeah, she's running for Senate in what, North Carolina?
She's not going to run. She's not going to run.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, mark that down, Sam.
No. Because a friend of mine who's a great writer said, she looks like what you pull out of the bottom drawer of a blow up doll factory.
Yeah.
She's just, you know, she's not a good looking woman. She's just not. There's a kind of a Cruella DeVille thing working there.
Well, and did you say she just held a big fundraiser for a dog rescue group at Mar-a-Lago? And
A dog run.
a dog rescue group. Yeah, a charity. Are we being played out here?
sort of. I mean, we're 24 minutes over, and I don't want,
Oh.
at the risk of becoming the David Susskind show, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody that's been streaming with us. You're welcome to join us anytime. You may have seen it earlier. I had the address. Every week it's a different address because these shows go into the vault. So these particular shows, we'll always have here. It looks something like this. Let me put it up there. somewhere. Oh, here it is. There it is. We always put the StreamYard address if you ever want
There
to
we
join.
go.
Anyway, it's time to go. My daughter needs the computer back for her schoolwork, and it's been great seeing everybody again. We'll be back
Yeah.
next week.
Take care.
There'll be other things coming on. We got we got the equinox coming up. I think.
Oh yeah.
is
Oh,
next
that's
week.
right.
And more golf jokes. Who knows? Whatever we bring to the table, come and join us. Contact me if you want to get a particular spot. Otherwise, just join us. If I see your face and it looks attractive, I'll put you on. If you're one of my sworn enemies, I'll never let you on. But
That
you know,
is great.
that's the way it works. That's the way it works for every host. I mean, anyway,
It's my
Thank-
show.
yeah, it's my show.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We're going off the air now to my favorite Henry Mancini.
Yes.
And my daughter.
No.